Hey folks, Landstryder here, and you're watching episode 28 in my Regrowth series. This pack's available on the Feed the Beast launcher and is made by thephoenixlodge. So today I'm down here in the large basement near the tank. You can see that I've set up another 4 coke ovens. Remember I said I was going to set these up and then rearrange all my pipework. So I'm in the middle of doing all that. And I wanted to show you what I was up to here. So I've got these barrels set up over here. And what I'm doing is I'm going to have 4 barrels for coal. So I'm going to replace this coal one down here with one of these barrels here in a minute. But the thing is, I want to B-space them. I want them to all be the same inventory. So what I've done is I've gone ahead and made up all these upgrades in advance. I'm sure we've covered how to make a barrel, but these upgrades, I think way back, we talked about these before. They require these wooden construction blocks, so quite a bit of wood goes into making this stuff. And then copper, and then there's iron. Takes iron ingots, and this takes bronze ingots, and that's as far as I need to upgrade it to get all the things that I want, because I want to have B space. I want it to have a hopper upgrade. And I want it to be void, so that if it does get completely full, it will just eliminate any excess automatically. Now the thing is they all have to be identical in order to bind them together. So I have to use hopper upgrades and void upgrades on all of them. So let me get on with putting all these on here. Let me get all these. Well, and then as you can see, if you're holding it, you can see that little number on the side. That indicates how many upgrades that you can put into it. Now, when you hover over this, it says provides 1, and when this says provides 3, that doesn't mean that it adds 3. That means the total will become 3 once you apply it. So it doesn't add 3. It just tells you what the new total is going to be once you've installed it. So, and then iron. See, now they have 3 available upgrade slots. And then finally I need bronze on these to make sure that they can all accept the upgrades that I want to put on each one of them. So now they all get a B space upgrade. And then I'm going to need to make a tuning fork here in a second, because I didn't make that yet. I forgot. But that's okay. So they all should have a B space upgrade. And now they all need to have a hopper upgrade just so they match. And that's actually good, because I need the hopper upgrade on some of them for what I want to do with them. And then I've also, well, I'm going to get the void upgrade on them. The void upgrade. It gives you little icons. You can see on the side there. It tells you what upgrades it has in it. You can't see those unless you're holding an item for upgrade that will upgrade them. So if I'm holding the storage upgrade, this adds additional storage. So you can see this one can hold, these can now hold 192 stacks. They start out at 64. So basically it's like 3 barrels in one. You can also see all that if you're holding a barrel hammer. And the barrel hammer has a bunch of different modes, but what we're going to be using it for today is fairly simple. It doesn't need to be changed mode. So I'm going to give these all a maximum storage upgrade. Basically, I'm using up all of the slots that I just applied. So I have a little issue. I got bat spawning because I have a tunnel that I dug over here. And we'll get to that here in a minute. But I had a zombie spawn in there and come out after me. Right when I was about to get rid of him. He's annoying. Right when I was about to start recording a second ago. Okay, so now those are all upgraded. Let's get a tuning fork. We're going to need a tuning fork. And I've been running this thing like mad, trying to get ready for today's episode. You can see that it's making all kinds of different chipsets. I need tons of chipsets to get into some high-tech stuff. So quartz chipsets, iron chipsets, and gold chipsets, what it's making right now. I will eventually need some diamond chipsets too, I believe. But I think that will cover everything that I'm going to be wanting to do today. Let's see. I come up. Oh yeah, make a tuning fork. There we go. Tuning fork is going to require an ender pearl and 3 iron. Not too bad. 1, 2, 3. And now we can get this and go down and tune these together. So what you do, I think it's shift right click, and it says fork starts resonating, and then we bind those together. And then try that again, bind those together. And one more time for the one on the end, bind those together. Okay. Now, if this works the way I hope it works, I should be able to have bound all those together. I'm going to grab some coal out of there. Now, if I put it in this one, you can see that it shows up in all of them, the same amount. So if I can put it in, take it out of any of these, they're all bound together. So now I want to do the same thing with these 6, because I'm going to need, I wonder if I can do that. Okay, because I'm going to need the network of, for this stuff, the coal coke. I need more coal coke in more locations, and I'm going to need coal. There we go. Yeah, that worked. So they're all bound together now. So there's my coal coke network. I got to pull all of it out of this barrel, because you can't do this when there's anything in any of the barrels. So you have to start with empty barrels. So now I can remove these barrels. These are actually, I'm done with that barrel. Right, and I'm done with this barrel. And okay, then now you can see kind of what's going on over here. I want to show you how this works. So right below this, I have a auto workbench. I did some experimentation between the auto workbench and the Britannia crafty crate to see which would work better, and the workbench is much simpler to work with. The crafty crate is interesting, and it has some cool abilities and stuff, but it would require a lot more space to set it up to do what I want to do. Workbench is all in one block, and the hopper hawk, you can see I got a floating hopper hawk down here. So yeah, I made a couple hopper hawks. Those are real simple, and I'm going to be using more of these later. But I made the floating version, which is just to combine that with one of the floating flowers. And hopper hawk is really just some gray and some regular gray and some light gray, air, and a redstone root. Redstone root is just grass and redstone, so not too expensive really, and really well worth it. This thing can cover the whole room down there and does not require any mana to do so. So its range is good enough that it covers that room without the mana. If you have mana nearby, it effectively, I think it doubles the range that this thing can pick things up in, and it would cover a very large area at that point. So, but even without the mana, it's enough to get everything in that room from corner to corner. So yeah, crafty crate, auto workbench. Yeah, not crafty. Auto workbench is going to go ahead and make the coal, but I need a way to get it in there. So that was one of the reasons that I wanted to have the hopper upgrade in all of these. So what I can do now is I can put a hopper upgrade, hopper facade. The upgrade has to be in the barrel, and then you put a hopper facade on. If I not do that, yeah, okay, there you have to shift click. That's right, shift right click. So there we go. I have a hopper facade on the back of it. And if I hold my barrel, I can see that little icon up in the corner says it's pushing. When the arrow is pointing up, that means that the hopper will push out of the barrel. So if I just right click with my hammer, that switches it to pointing down, and now that hopper facade will pull into the barrel instead. And the other nice thing is when I look straight down at my crafting table, and I think no, I don't need to shift click. There we go. So I can actually place that facing down, or well, facing up. The front of it's facing up. And now remember, since I put the hopper on the back of it, the hopper is now pulling out of that workbench. So now whenever let's see if I can get it to do its thing. Got it. Well, I'll just throw the things in there. It doesn't matter what slot you put them in, then automatically distribute them. And then once there's more than one in every slot, it'll go ahead and do the recipe. In a second, you should see that it starts to pull out of there. Yep, see, Hopper's pulling it right out and putting it into the crate, or into the barrel. So that's one barrel, and I got another one that I need to set up over here. So what I want to do is, I think actually it's already done. Yeah, it's not doing anything right now because these have materials in them. These have coal coke in them back here, or this particular one. This is the end of the line, and it has a, remember the gate, and they're the controller gate and pulsar gate. Now, because I had to, so basically when the inventory is empty, send a red pipe signal. When receiving a red pipe signal, go ahead and energy pulsar and pull out of that barrel. You can see it wraps around, and there's a clay pipe for the first 3 coke ovens, and then it's just a standard entry point, or a standard connection to this last one. Because I had to put the pipe plug on this side of the pipe to avoid having a complete loop, the redstone, or the red pipe wire, would not connect across there. So just I had to loop that red pipe wire all the way around. So nothing big, not a big deal, but worth noting, I suppose. So yeah, whenever I empty this one out now of coal coke, this should go ahead and start pumping out more coal out of there and fill up all of these coke ovens again. So how am I going to get it up into the top? You're probably asking at this point. How am I going to get the top for it? Well, that's why I wanted to have. That's another reason I needed the B space barrels, because I'm going to put one right there. And I've already got the pipes up there set up. I just need to get a. Let's see, where is it at? I need one of the coal ones. And put it right there. There we go. Actually, why don't we face it the other direction? Really don't matter, but okay. So I need to switch that wooden pipe up there. I need to switch. I don't know if I can reach it from here or not. Probably not. No. I need to get a couple of bits of cobblestone from over here real quick, so that I can jump up there and get that fixed up. And as soon as I get the covers on these, I'll stop having that little jittery thing when I walk over them. And then while I'm up here, you can also kind of see how I got this set up. So I've got this pulling out. I've got these wooden pipes pulling out. And it's going to go around in a loop. I haven't completed it yet because I needed to get back in here before I actually put the last couple pieces in. This is a really tight situation, and this tangle of pipes. But once it's done, there we go. That's what I want right there. So this one should already have the settings, I think. In pipe wire, I don't think I set the gates to work yet. So this gate needs to be. This gate needs to be when it receives red pipe wire. Red pipe signal on. Pulse. Okay, and then it's going to pull out and fill up these top ones. And then down here, I'm going to need to get up to this other gate way up there. Oh, nope. Yeah, I need to go on top of here to get to that gate. Oh, no, that's correct. What am I missing? Red pipe wire is there. Oh, these inventories are not empty. That's what's up. Okay, so I have all those. I think I can reach these gates from here. So you can see that, man, it's really tangled up in here. But Those gates are pulling out of the thing, and I need to go ahead and set these to items in inventory. Items in inventory. Energy pulsar. So that should... Now that one might not have... Yeah, that one doesn't have any coal coke in it. That's why that one's not doing anything yet. Same with this one. Items in inventory. Pulsar. Again, that one doesn't have any coal coke in it, so don't gotta... This one should. Items in inventory. Energy pulsar. Now, right now, there's a chance that it's going to go the wrong direction, and it's going to end up on the ground. And I'm going to start picking up stuff. So that's going to happen until I get the last bit fixed in. Okay. Well, first of all, what would be a really good idea is if I put the receiving barrel in place. The receiving barrel goes right there. So there's a clay pipe right there that we'll always attempt to insert into this barrel. This barrel has that void upgrade, so even if it does get 100% full, it will still accept the coal or the coal coke. Even if it got 100% full, what was it, 190 some piles of stuff. So I also need to, before I do that, let me put on the gates right here. Gate. Now, when you're targeting these gates, if you want it to go on the like a side that you're not actually facing, you can kind of see the bounding box of the actual side. If you click that bounding box, it'll end up on that side. So that's how I'm getting that to target like that. So I'm going to have to go ahead and set these on before I put the final stuff in there. I'll put the final couple bits of pipe. Items in inventory. Pulsar. This one's just going to start throwing things on the ground. That's okay. I'll pick it up with my magnet and put it in the right place. Pulsar. Can fix that real quick by doing this and that. Oh, and I've got these pipe plugs. These are not necessary, but they do make it look nicer, I think. Pipe plugs, so that doesn't look like the pipe's connecting. And I don't need a pipe plug on that piece. So there we go, there and there. I should have a couple more pipe plugs. I do. Can I reach those other? Yeah. So there we go. Now we've got a full loop around in a circle. So it doesn't matter which way the coal coke decides to go when it comes out. Well, why did it? Interesting. I still have a place where they can pop out. Shouldn't be. Hopefully I don't got a connection up in there. It's hard. It's such a tangle. Such a tangle. Anyway, theoretically, items in inventory. Pulsar. There comes some more. Hopefully, I don't know. It's still dropping things out. Okay, so I got something I need to address here. I think I know what it is. Yeah, I think. Why is it doing that? It's dropping them all over the place, isn't it? I think I need a full loop of gold pipes. So this might need to pop out one. Yeah, occasionally it's throwing some out. So I've got an issue here. Let me deal with that, and then we're gonna move on to the next thing. I'll just get it fixed and see if I can't figure out why it's doing that, and then I'll be right back, and we'll move on to the next stuff. So, but yeah, there's my new thing. That should provide me enough creosote, I hope, that Mr. Steamy can come back off of his layoff. He's been laid off for lack of resources. So he can go back into full-time work, I hope, after this. But anyway, let me see if I can't figure out why this thing's still spitting out stuff. And I'll be back in a minute. We'll move on. Alright, real quick. That wasn't very hard to figure out. What it was is this second one right here had the pipe going by. So sometimes the object could decide to go up into this wooden pipe, and there was no place for it to go after that. So the simple fix was to go ahead and put a couple bits of iron pipe in right here at that junction. So then make sure that it is facing down the pipe that direction, and cap it off, and in a second this should no longer be spitting out items. So got that solved. Just had to add a few iron pipes into the works. So there we go. It should no longer spit items out on the ground anymore. They all should end up into the barrel. So we are at full production of everything down here. I think it's probably safe to go ahead and turn Mr. Steamy back on. I don't know. We'll just have to keep an eye on this, see if it continues to go up. Now it's probably going to go down a little bit while he's heating up. So back here I actually have a iron fluid pipe, which is basically a valve pipe. So I just flip this. That should allow creosote to flow into Steamy again, and he will start warming up. This is going to be a while, but eventually he will start doing his production again. And I need to check on this up here. Okay, that's all done, so I can turn off these engines again. Wait, no, that's all on. I need all off. There we go, all off. Turn them all off. Because Mr. Steamy's going to power up pretty soon, and he will be able to keep the lasers going, I think. But let me take another quick cut, because I have to set up a bunch of crafting tables with a bunch of items in it so that we can speed through the next bit. Alright, well, I nearly forgot the most important bit is I need a little worker down there to be harvesting all that coal. And this thing's doing a pretty good job. It's been working away, increasing that node. Not too bad. But anyway, real quick, we got to get some golems. So I'm going to do some hay, or some straw golems. So that requires hay bales. If we look, maybe, if we look at a book, there, it's book. If we look in the book, straw golems, Humanus, Modus, and Spiritus, 4, 4, and 4. Okay, not too difficult. I could just throw some rotten flesh, some trapdoors, and some what else? And soul sand in there. I could do that. But what I want to do instead this time is there's another way to keep your from making a mess with your with your crucible. You can make glass files from Thaumcraft. This is the old school method of doing this. We had to do it before we had all this really cool automation and complicated cool stuff. You can break down your essentia, which I've already done. I've already threw a bunch of trapdoors and things in there. So somewhere around here I should have Humanus. I think, where is it? It's like a pink color. There I go, Humanus. I need a little bit more of that, don't I? Well, I got enough to do like 4 of these guys, so that's good. Humanus, Modus. Modus should be around here somewhere, and it's got like a white color. Is that it? No, that's Spiritus. I need that too, so let me grab that. Spiritus, and there's Modus. 2 of those. And then I can just throw these in there instead. And let's see, it was 4 and 4. So I can just go 1, 1, 1, and then throw 2 of those in. I'm going to get 2 golems. They don't stack, do they? Oh, okay. Maybe I'm only going to make 2 right now then. That's fine. I'll put those up for later. Now, the other thing I need is the core. The golem core. I don't know. I think I made the stuff for that as well. So let's take a quick look at that. Let's get that going. So I'm going to need a golem animation core. Meto. And since you can't craft wooden hose, the other thing that I found that is good for these is shears. You can get the Meto. Shears will give you Meto. And Mephis, you just throw some wheat. I don't know if I did wheat. I don't know if I did the Mephis. I could always, well, I could just break down one of my things here. One of my bales of hay. And that should give me enough to do the golem core. So it's like 5, isn't it? Yeah, I think it's 5. Which doesn't work out very well for using the files, because you can only get them in lots of 8. So to be efficient, that I have to do like 5 or so. But we're not going to worry about efficiency right now. I got extra modus in there apparently. Oh, I think I got that from a quest. But I also need a golem core. Do I have an extra golem core? I do. Golem animation core. So come up here. I should be able to find some Mephos. Is this it? Yeah, that's one of the things I need. And then the wheat should have just went someplace here. There it is. That's what I need. We're going to be a little wasteful on this one, but I just want to get it done so we can move on. So toss those 2 things in there, and a blank animation core is going to give me a harvest. And now I take this guy and drop off some things here. Drop off that and these. Shouldn't need those. Anyway, let's bring this guy down here because he needs to get busy. Because if I bet I'm almost out of coal already. Yeah, very low. And I should also lock these. That'll help. Okay, so now those are locked, so even when it's empty, it'll only accept coal. And this guy can go right underneath here. Can I drop him right there? Yeah, I can. He can do that. Give him a harvest core, and he should get busy. There he goes. And I'm going to hold shift so you can see that it start picking up all the stuff. It should here in a second. Yeah, it's gathering it up. It's going into that auto workbench. Yeah. And it's staying busy. Stupid charm. Okay. The only way I'm going to get away from this without is by taking this ring off. And then throwing everything out. Okay, there we go. Now I can get away from there without picking up any more stuff. All right, back to setting things up, and again, I'll be back in a moment. Well, I didn't get very far along until I realized I need to do something in order to get some of the materials I'm going to need for today. I need to run some power over there. So for that, I'm going to make myself much more golden kinesis pipes. And we'll go look at the building right now. It is mostly done. I'm pretty happy with it. I also finished, or well, not finished, but I stuck up the roof on it. But I made this house too. I need to put the doors in it too. But made that house out of spruce, so to pretty much mirror that one, but all in spruce. So let's take a look at the factory. I think it looks pretty nice. So I put little windows up there at the top, just like you would have in a regular factory. You can't see out of them, but they let light in. Pretty much how they design these so that the workers aren't distracted by the things going on outside. And then I got big garage doors, 2 garage doors. Kind of the road's going to be coming right down here, so I figured that's where the garage doors will be, like right there. For bringing big stuff in and unloading and whatever. Then I got the man doors at this end. This end right here. I think it looks pretty good. Look at the steel door. Another steel door at this end. And I was really happy with the way these came out, these stairs. So that's carpenter stairs with the transparent scaffold applied for texture. And of course the wedges on the back to give it that completed look, so it's not quite as so it's a little more solid. And then when you apply another block to a carpenter's block, it'll apply that block as a texture just on that surface, and gives it also a little bit of an extra like bump out. So now I've got the diamond plates just on the top of the stairs. I think it looks pretty good. They came out. I like those stairs. I'm really happy about those. These came out real good. And we also got a stairs down here into the basement, where I've got my metallurgic infuser setting, waiting for some power, because this is what I need first. I need metallurgic infuser to in order to make all of this stuff. No, not that stuff. This stuff right here, enriched alloy. Remember, I need that for all kinds of crafting processes for making stuff. So I've already dug this tunnel earlier, and this is the tunnel that I was saying was spawning mobs. So this would be good, because now I can fill it back in. In fact, let me go get a pile of cobbles so that I can really fill it in as I'm going. I just need to connect this power over there. And then what I'm going to do is, so like all of the stuff over here is going to be buildcraft and railcraft style stuff. But as soon as I bring this power into the facility over there, I am going to convert it over to Mekanism pipes and powers and stuff like that. But I got to get it over there first. Okay? So I'm just going to run some buildcraft pipe over to there, over to the entrance. And this will keep anything else from spawning back in here, because it'll be filled back in. Oh, did I go too far? Yep. Okay, almost there. There we go. Now we got some power over to this. Maybe? Yeah, there it comes. There it comes. We're filling up with some RF now. Mr. Steamy started doing a little bit of work over there, but he's still got a long way to go before he heats all the way back up. But he is producing some power for us to use. So now, what I need to do is start making some of that basic alloy. Let me run and get the stuff. Be back in a second. Alright, for the basic alloy, you're going to need some redstone and some iron. And there are some things that I can do to improve the efficiency of how this all works. But for now, I just have to throw some redstone in there. Put it in that slot. It'll start filling up this bar over here. Oh, that didn't even produce 640. Hopefully, that's enough to process this full stack of iron, I hope. As you can see, It infuses the iron with some redstone. There's, like I said, different recipes for this. Each thing requires something here and something there. You're basically infusing something. I'm going to get the enriched alloy. Does that? Okay, yeah. So that's going to process that full stack of that. And that's going to let me set up all of my crafting grids with all the recipes, I hope. First thing I'm going to be making is this basic energy cube, because that's going to sit right here in front of this kinesis pipe, and that's going to be our initial point for power coming in. So we'll have a pipe or a energy cube to store all of our power. We'll be able to store up some power so that even if, of course, I don't think Mr. Steamy's going to run out of power now. I don't think he's going to stop. I think he's going to press on regardless. But yeah, we'll do. Let me get all those recipes set up, and we will go through that real quick, and we'll get it in position. Well, I've got some things set up, and let's see if we can't get a few things crafted. Should have processed that whole thing of alloy. I got some of it already out of here. Yeah, it's done with the rest of it, and used up all the redstone that I had in there. So two of the machines that I think are going to be necessary and useful, other than the basic energy cube, is the enrichment chamber. Definitely going to need that for sure. And the osmium compressor. I'm not 100% sure that I'm going to need that very much, since the armor and things like that are not in this pack. But I think I do need it for some of these other really cool toys that I want to make. So we're going to make these two machines today, and the basic energy cube. And that's going to give us a pretty good start. You can kind of see how I'm going to start laying this out here in a minute after I get those machines made. But we're going to need to start by making a bunch of steel casings. That's the refined steel, the osmium plates, and the sheets of titanium. We're going to need a few of those going forward. I think we need one for just about every Mekanism machine that we want to make. So, and we're going to need a whole lot of these basic control circuits, because these are needed to make the next tier, and the next tier after that. So you got to start with these no matter what. Which, remember, these basic circuit boards were created in the Carpenter. So I've been having to run back and forth between here and the lighthouse to get all these materials ready quite a lot. So what is going to happen is I'm either going to move that stuff over, all those carpenters and the rolling machine and everything like that, and especially the laser tables. I'll move that over here. Or I'm going to just duplicate it. I'm going to make another whole set of it for over here. Like, I'm thinking like this whole, well, maybe not that end, but somewhere in here there'll be like a laser room, and things, and I want to have one carpenter set up for each one of these circuit boards with the pattern in it and everything, so that when I go to get into the applied energistic system, we will be able to easily auto craft that. So we're going to get me 18 circuits. Let me just pull the rest of this stuff out of there. So, and then I needed these to make some of these. I need at least 2 of these right now. We will hold off on making more of those for a second. Keep that guy out wherever he's at. It must be nighttime outside. And then I can make my energy cube, I think. It's not going to shift. Either that or I don't have all the materials I need. No, I got all the materials I need. That. Aluminum plates, and then these guys. Oh yeah, because these things don't stack. These energy towers don't stack. So any recipe that includes the energy towers is not going to shift click into the crafting grid for you. So there we go. And pull my thing out. So let me go get this positioned. And this is not going to be where this goes. I wonder if I can pick this up with a wrench. Probably not. Not this. Oh, yeah, I can. Awesome. And then I want to break that, because this is going to sit right there. So there's our incoming energy storage. Ooh, look at that. Beautiful amount of energy coming in. And you can see that it's starting to fill up with that little... The more persistent that thing, the cube is that's spinning in the middle, the more energy it has stored. You can see that it's filling up pretty quick. We're going to want to upgrade this in the future, but we're not quite ready for that stage yet. The next thing we're going to need to do is make some... I don't know if I have the materials for it. Do I have? I need redstone. Need some more redstone. So let me go grab some more redstone real quick. Using tons of redstone right now. I'll definitely need to get this one set up in a large plot over in the plantation area. Eventually, like I said, this is going to change into a Victory Garden style looking area. Probably going to move the wooden. I'm probably going to remove the tanks and sprinkler systems since haven't been even using them for like a while. And you know, that'll open it up, make it look a little nicer. And probably move the tanks and everything over to the farm plantation area. And I doubt that I would even need them, but I'm just going to put them over there probably for the looks, if nothing else. Redstone. Yeah, I got the redstone. And I need to make some of these right here. Basic universal cables. These are the starts. So you need some steel. Let me guess, I didn't bring steel. I got refined steel, but I don't got regular steel. So many different resources. And you see this is already becoming very tedious running back and forth. So a good portion of what is currently in the first floor and down in the first sub-basement, a good portion of all of this is going to end up over there in that building. Especially my bank of resources here is probably going to end up in the basement over there. Good portion of those barrels and things are going to end up over there. And like I said, I'm not sure if I'm going to, you know, I might leave these here for nostalgia and, you know, just to fill the space. But I was also thinking of moving most of this stuff out, or at least this part, the rolling machine and the laser table and stuff, and turning this floor into bee processing and fish processing for when we get to that. Because I'll be needing the carpenters and squeezers and centrifuges and stuff for the bees. Those will stay. And I'm probably going to need to make more carpenters anyway for over there, because I want to have one for each individual circuit board recipe. So I don't have to keep switching in and out. And then I can also easily automate that once I have 4 of those. One for each one. Yeah. What did I come over here for? Steel. Come over here to get some steel. And some other things will get, a lot of things are going to get automated now that we are actually up to this stage, and we can start really doing some crazy automation. And before I wrap this episode up, we are actually going to get to the Certus quartz seed, because that is the next big step in order to get our major automation going. We need an ME system. So there we go. It's got some basic universal cables. And let me just remove that right now. Let's get the actual machine made. So I think this requires 2 circuit boards. Yeah, no. Oh yeah, that's a sub recipe. This requires that and 2 circuit boards. Yes? There we go, the enrichment chamber. This is going to allow us to make our redstone and things last a little bit longer. We can like, let's see, recipes? Yeah, there's a recipe button there. So yeah, we can compress our carbon, and these, so coal in the metallurgical infuser would give me 10 units, I think is how it works, for enriching something. If I compress it, I can get 100 units out of the same material. So that's how it's going to work. This also ore double. This is the basic, most basic ore doubling mechanic for the Mekanism. This is also one of the stages in some of the more complicated ore doubling processes. So you also you can compress diamond dust. That's cool. Didn't know about that recipe. Clean up your silver. Blue plastic. Interesting. Yeah, all kinds of cool things that we can do with this. So this is definitely one that we wanted. Definitely one that we wanted. You can also get a good amount of lapis out of your lapis blocks, and etc., etc., etc. Quite a few recipes in here, actually. I was looking for some of the other. Okay, I was looking for some of the other recipes. Okay, so it must not be part of this. This is probably not the part that I was thinking about for the ore doubling. A lot of these machines, especially all these chemical catalyzer and washer and pressure reaction chamber and things like that, a lot of those are for the tier 4 and tier 5 ore doubling, well, quadrupling and quintupling. We're not going to worry about that. I think we're going to get the system set up so that we have ore tripling, and I'm good with that. I don't need to do 4x and 5x. And the 5x process takes too long, from, in my opinion, for it to be really worth it, unless you're in a world where all the minerals are stripped and you only have access to a tiny bit of materials left, and you want to squeeze the last little bit of it, I suppose. Or for the amount of trouble of putting it all together and stuff. We're not going to do that in this world. We're going to get the ore tripling all set up, and then we can stop using our smeltery over there for ore doubling, because we'll have tripling, and it'll be all set up automatically. Materials come in and get tripled and go into the system stored, and that'll be that. But we're a little ways away from that yet. So somewhere along here, did that. No. What is this? I forget. Oh, this is for the circuits. So for this, I need to make 2 of these advanced circuits. So you see the next tier up circuit requires the next tier up circuit from forestry, and 2 of the basic circuits, and 2 of the better circuits from 2 of the, well, what would probably be considered tier 2 circuits from Buildcraft. So we're going to get those. And then that should allow me to craft this thing right here. Yeah. So that's going to go there, and I'm actually going to remove these tables now. Hopefully I've got inventory space to store all the stuff that just fell out. Yeah, I do. Okay, we're good. Yeah, and then what else I want to do is I got these guys right here. Factory blocks. And what I'll do is, in front of the machines, these guys that'll go there. So like I'm gonna have a row of machines here. Right? So there's caution, don't get in too close to machines unless you know what you're doing. Authorized personnel only or something like that. And then let's go hook it up with power. Hook those up with power, and actually we can go ahead and toss our infuser down right here too. Now that one doesn't have it's not a full block, so it's going to look a little funny whenever we connect up the power. I think there is a way to disguise these pipes. I think you can put facades on them, or microblock covers, I think. Pretty sure they're compatible. So we're going to run some power, and I need to fix those dirt so that there are something not dirt. Power over here, and there we go. Now we should be powering up. Our machine should be powered now. We come up here and check. No. Basic universal cable. Yeah, that's right. That one's got power, but it probably had power when I broke it, so. Okay, maybe I need to do something special down here. It's been a while since I've used this stuff, so do I need to set that positive, negative? Okay, that's if you have like a battery or something you want to store power. Do I hit that? There we go. Hit the side there, and that change it to export power. On that side, I hope. And I hope that it's still inputting power. Seems to be. But now our power pipe is filled with energy, and we should be able to go back up and check that these machines are now receiving power. They are. It's powered up over here. So the osmium compressor, none recipes. There we go. This is how we make the glowstone ingots and obsidian ingots, and that is all I can make in there? Okay. And then what can I use these for? Usages. Well, I need that to make the super top tier upgrade for the barrels. And I can also use it to make the refined glowstone. The teleporter frame. That's actually important. Something I want. And something about I can make a tool material out of it. Oh yeah, I can turn it into a tool. Oh, this is interesting. I don't remember ever seeing this thing in NEI before. So draw speed 40. That would be really bad. Arrow speed 1.4. Yeah, that would be terrible to use as a bow or an arrow. It's pretty heavy too. Has a break chance. That's interesting. I don't remember ever seeing that before. Maybe that's added as anyway. The other thing that it can make, obsidian ingots, which are used for making refined obsidian dust. That's used in some recipes, and then it's also used to make the atomic disassembler, the refined obsidian blocks, teleporter frames, also the other part of the teleporter frames, the robot. I'm going to get one of him eventually. And this stuff is used to get our compressed obsidian, dirty obsidian, okay, no. And it's also used as part of the infusion process of the atomic alloy. We would probably want to use the compressed obsidian though before that. Compressed obsidian, any other uses for it here? No. So yeah. So there we go. Not a lot of recipes for it, but it is needed in the process of doing some of the things we're going to want to do in the future. So I think that we're going to wrap this up here in a minute, but I wanted to... let me take a quick break, clean up my inventory, and then we'll come back. I got a couple things to do, and we got an induction in to take care of. So I'll be back in a moment. Alright, now I'm over here by the infusion altar. I almost forgot that I wanted to do the Certus quartz seed today, so we're going to get that done real quick. And that should complete a category in the quest book. So first thing I need to do is turn this one in, Certus certification. Before you can get the seed, you need to get one Certus essence. So for that, I've got my blocks of redstone. That took me a little while to gather up. I've been saving them over the course of playing last day or so, and finally got enough to make a full stack of blocks. Floral light gray powder is not hard to get. The extreme essence, the same thing with that. Every time I think about it, I go and harvest all of my essence. And remember, I've got that big plot out there in the plantation of essence now, or this would have taken me a lot longer to get all that built up. Essence of diamond, not too hard, and essence of emerald, not too hard. My couple little rows over there produce enough in just a few minutes in order to finish those off. So I just need to turn that in. There we go. Manual Smith. Gonna get my essence of Certus. Now toss that on there with all this stuff. Oh, I need to get a seed. From in here, get the seed. There we go. So for those extreme, that refined steel, a block of osmium, a block of manilium, gluttony, lust, greed, and pride. I'll go on there. I think that's it. Yeah, that should be it. Yep, there it comes. Certus seed. And that shouldn't take too long. It is a lot of power for this. So even with my 3 mana spreaders over there with their boosted lenses, it still does take a few moments. And that's going to probably get my my flowers working down there for a little bit too. Almost done? Yeah. And there it is, the final seed. The very last one, I think. So if I claim that, I get the extreme essence. If I claim that, and I back up, aha! All quests complete. Another green entry in my book. So what I got left? I got some things to do in the way the world works, in what the world teaches. So in this one, I still got to fight the Gaia spirit. A bunch of stuff to do I got some stuff to do in coding the world. That's the bees and the fish. We'll get to that. We will definitely get to that. Life of the world just does not want to complete for some reason. Let me look in here. Nope, nothing else is showing up in there. And how the world changes. That's all that witchery. So we're going to have to get back into witchery pretty deep. And this is a weird one here. Like, depending on which one of these you complete, the other 3 lock out. So I don't know if I'll ever be able to get this one to 100%. So that one may never become 100%. So We'll see. Alright, so today's induction into the Hall of Heroes is going to be Lord Raccoon, a good friend of mine. We've done a lot of playing together, playthroughs, collabs, things like that, and he definitely watches my videos. I watch his videos, so we support each other, and he definitely deserves a place in the Hall of Heroes. So we're going to get him up, and I'm going to take you over there in a moment as soon as this is done, and you're going to see what I've done in there to deal with the whole armor issue. I think I got it solved. I think I have it solved. You may be able to tell from what I have in my inventory here what I've been up to. So we go over here. Hopefully I got his name right. He changed his name recently when they made that a possibility, so that he could fix his spelling correction, or fix a spelling error. And she did, and I did. So we're all good there. All right, we'll put him right here on this one. So there we go, Lord Raccoon. We're going to give him a set of gray dyed armor, so that should look a lot like his character. Not like his skin. Not exactly, but as close as I can get it with the color. So that's pretty close, actually. So yeah, I did some leather. Okay, everybody's got a suit now. I will be honest with you. I cheated in these Thamic suits over here because I didn't have the time or the materials available to me to finish them up. But I'm not using them, so they're just there for show. So I figured it would be all right. Okay, so everybody's got armor now. This is just as Scheist. I'm not sure how you Scheist 025. I just put iron on him because he never really responded what his in-game name was or what armor he would want. So I did that. I put this white armor on I can't think of his foreign name now. Anyway, I put the white armor on Doran Carey's head because I thought it would match the head, but I think he actually asked for like green or some kind of armor there. Yeah, Aiko's got a nice black suit because that's what his character is. He's like wearing a tuxedo. I figured black suit leather would be as close as I could get to a tuxedo. And Funshine's got yellow, of course, because he's the Funshine bear. So he's a yellow bear, so he gets a yellow suit. And Notch Flames is well, I figured he's got that wizardry type head, so he would get a suit of wizardry type armor. So there we go. Everybody's got armor now over here. And welcome, Lord Raccoon, to the Hall of Heroes. I wish these when we put the heads on the armor stands, they would show the additional layers, because now his nose is missing. He's got a nose, and this guy's glasses is missing, etc., etc. So, yeah, that's as far as we're gonna get with tech today. We're definitely gonna get some more next episode. Maybe we'll get into the rest of the machine setups. I'll do some work off camera and get that a little moved along. And move all these, move or duplicate, I still haven't decided. Move or duplicate the machines that I need to keep coming over here, running over here to use. Like I need a rolling machine over there. I need the laser table over there. And I need a bunch of carpenters over there. I'm definitely going to duplicate the carpenters because I want 4 of them over there. But, and then finally, I think the only other thing to talk about is the road. So a lot of people have it's been kind of mixed. Everybody had their own opinion. I think 1 or 2 people were interested in the bordered sandstone. A lot of people like the abyssal stone, and I need to get that abyssal cobble. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna just cheat it in, just so you guys can see it. Real quick here. This is. I think this is acceptable. We're gonna get some abyssal cobble. Abyssal cobble, just so you guys can get a look at what it would look like on the ground. And get rid of these nuisances over here. Okay. This is what it would look like. That's not cobble. Abyssal looks like, there it is. There's the cobble version. There's the cobble version of what this would look like. And road lines. I don't know how these are going to look. I think yellow. What, yellow along the edge maybe? No, it doesn't look very good. Probably just white, double white lines down the middle. Maybe, or something. Or maybe a single yellow line down the middle. I don't know. We're going to do some road lines on some things, so that's what that would look like. And I'm thinking what I might do, and you guys let me know if you think this would be acceptable compromise. So I'm thinking about using the paving stones of travel as an intersection, just at the intersections. So they would look like, they would kind of be like crosswalks, and they would divide the roads just at the intersections, so that when you run around, because when you run across them, you get that speed boost. They don't have to be, you don't have to have the whole road made out of them. So, and then the rest of the road could be either this abyssal cobble or the regular abyssal. I'm not sure. Let's take a good look at that right before, or the asphalt concrete. So I think we're down to those three. I think we're down to those three possibles for the road. And again, I'm gonna mix in some paving stones of travel for those guys that thought that would look good. Paving stones of travel. Of course, I could just use the abyssal stone and mix in an occasional cobble abyssal to make it look like it's like a bad section of road or something like that. Or mix all three of these into something. I don't know. Tell me what you guys think. We're down to those choices, and I will end up using this somewhere in the build, in the road system. I'm thinking actually using it as the driveway or entryway into the mansion over that direction. Use a nice sandstone. And I'm actually thinking about using like a whole bunch of sandstone and light colored stones and bricks for that building. It's going to be over there eventually. But anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this. Let me get rid of these things that I just cheated in. Make sure I don't have any other cheatedness. Okay, I can get out of game mode before I forget. Game mode 0. Back to survivaling. But yeah, yeah, and if you guys really think that we should do the cobble version of that abyssal, I like that. I really do like that. So I'm gonna vote for that, the abyssal cobble. If you guys think that we should do that for the road, only the fact that you can see that little bit of white right on the edge there from the road lines. If you think it should do that, I will definitely build the machine in order to make that and get it legitimately. So we're probably going to want one of them anyway. Rock Crusher is what it's called. It's from Railcraft. And yeah, I think that's where we're going to wrap this up. Next episode, we will get the rest of the machines made up. And then hopefully get in a little bit of the applied logistics system. No promises. What do you guys think of these stairs, too, by the way? I really like these stairs. I really like these stairs. I thought they came out super good. So, there's what it looks like from above view. Anyway, guys, maybe it'll be a double yellow line in the middle instead of white. Either that or I might go and do something with microblocks. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this. Be sure and leave a like, a comment, thumbs up, all that fun stuff. And until next time, I will catch you later.